Thank you for watching, Brush Sauce episode 11. I'll be talking about workflows and kind of like some sci-fi environments. And since I'm not the best at either of those, I saw um, Leon Tucker's work online and it really impressed me. And so I called him onto this episode. Say hi, everyone.
Hey everyone.
They, yeah, you want to just mention your a brief description of what were we going over?
Yeah, of course. Well, a while ago, I created this little workflow. Well, it just went on the fly actually. It's about 3D modeling, in which I create a simple model first in the program called Cinema 4D. After that, I'll texture it with a tileable texture created in Photoshop. And after that, I'll render that out and paint over it, actually. So I'm using the 3D render as a base for my paintings.
Awesome, awesome. It seems like a really efficient way to get some things done, particularly when it comes to architecture and other subject matters that would require precise, curves or shapes, right?
Yeah, that's right. It also is really a lifesaver when we're talking about perspective. I was going to say, especially with round shapes like cylinders and spheres.
Yeah, and ellipses and all that kind of
Yeah,
fun.
they can be really hard to nail down in perspective.
Really hard to do freehand in Photoshop. I've been doing it for years. I'll tell you, it's not easy. So hopefully, we'll all learn from your technique here and improve our workflow and save time in the process. Play. All right, we're back, and Leon's going to be showing us part of his reference process.
Yep, that's right. Well, at the moment, I'm just gathering some random stuff. I really like the Asian shanty towns. I don't know if you call it that way, but
Yeah.
well, CG Textures has a lot of good stuff around, so I'll try to make use of that. So you'll see me go around this website really quickly to gather some stuff.
Yeah, I think that's a step that a lot of beginners miss in the beginning is getting proper reference for their scenes, and they just try to make it up all out of their head, and it ends up, kind of looking like that.
Yeah, it's really hard. You need some kind of visual library, right?
Yeah, that's how you build your visual memory up and your library in your head.
Yeah, and maybe there are some people who think, well, that's cheating. Don't search for reference. No, don't do it, man. Paint it all out of your head.
Yeah,
Well,
absolutely important. So what type of, to get these scenes, what do you type into Google? Some people don't even really understand how to do that part.
oh yeah. Well, most of the time I'll just type in random stuff, and if I find good pictures, I'll just save them. You
Like
saw me
floating
type.
markets and stuff like that. Asian Bazaar. I've typed in all
Yeah,
kinds of things.
Asia Bazaar. For this one, I typed in Bible, the Babylon city from the Christian
Hmm.
Bible, to find some cool towers.
Nice.
to,
Yeah, and then yeah, you set those aside for later, and then I see you already opened Cinema 4D, and you're starting to build. So I'll let you kind of
yeah,
explain this.
yeah, that's right. I'm setting up a scene right now. Just putting in a little sky and some environment modifier, which basically means that I can add a fog layer
Hmm.
after. And what I'm doing now is I'm trying to create some kind of archway, a little one. And how I did that is actually using a boolean, which is a yeah pretty vague term.
Your
But
3D term.
what it is, you create two shapes, and one shape cuts away in the other shape.
And then I see you kind of turned on some kind of radial symmetry there to duplicate it around the circle.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, radial symmetry array is what it's called here. And what I'm doing now, I'm creating a very simple cylinder, um, and then I added some random modifiers. Modifier,
Do those
yeah,
come with Cinema
parts.
4D, or is that like a plugin you'd have to download extra?
No, that's actually the great part about Cinema 4D. It has such great random modify stuff. So
Awesome.
I'll just type in some a number, percentage of how random I want it to be, and then I'll just extrude, and this is what happens. So in maybe 5 minutes, I have created this tower, maybe less.
So what's it going on now? Is it's already rendering the lighting kind of in real time?
Yeah. Yeah, I wanted to see if it looked all right. So
Oh, nice. So do you have to
I it,
manually set up a spotlight, or does it have some default lighting scenarios you can select?
no, I actually placed a light in the scene.
Oh, nice.
So so what we see now, it's all just copying those simple shapes. That archway which I created earlier, it's just copy it around and around.
Yeah, and
And
if oh, sorry.
oh no, that's all it is really.
Hmm.
Just creating some kind of architectural building with just simple shapes and just to show how easy it is.
Yeah, because certainly drawing something like this out in correct perspective would be a tremendous amount of work.
Yeah, hours and hours.
Yeah, not fun for anybody.
Yeah, I tried it once and then I quit.
So does Cinema 4D kind of work in layers, kind of like Photoshop? With
No, not really.
how
It's
does it?
just
I have not too much knowledge of. I don't have much knowledge of the 3D software. So does it group the objects in ways and stuff?
well, yeah, just see it as a some kind of virtual sculpting tool. It's just like a big how do you call it? Like a big studio with
Mm-hmm.
lots of clay and stuff, but then it's digital. And well, it doesn't really work in layers. Just all the objects are separate. And what I did is I combined all the objects into one object.
Mm-hmm.
So I merged it to make it yeah, a little bit more easy to
Yeah, make the
obviously.
machine run faster too.
Yeah, that's right.
And you're
So yeah,
duplicating that one structure around in the scene.
yeah, that's all I did. I'm just duplicating the same structure around and trying to make up a cool composition for this painting.
It's very cool. I mean, how long do you think you've been spending on it up to this point?
Well, maybe 5 to 10 minutes.
That's amazing.
Yeah, it's really quick way to do
I mean, even in
this
I
kind of
can't
stuff.
even. I've tried Google SketchUp and I haven't been able to render anything out like quite like this that fast. So that's a really handy trick you got there.
Yeah, it works out great. It's yeah. Uh, a lot of concept artists use it lately.
Hmm.
I think 3D because it's just so fast, and the industry is kind of aiming at the being fast. I think I don't
Yeah.
know because I'm not in the industry, but that's what I hear from people.
Well, time is always money.
Yeah. So well, I'm still duplicating things around and putting them back into the atmosphere a bit. So
What are we seeing
uh,
here? Is it still rendering out
yeah,
different lighting
yeah, I'm just
passes?
rendering yeah, sort of to look at how it looks right now.
Mm-hmm.
So what you see now is just the simple overview, and now I'm rendering it again to see
Nice.
how it looks.
Yeah, and then
That's the
if you
final
don't
version.
like how it looks, you can just kind of tilt the camera angle a bit and work something till compositionally it's really strong, right?
Yeah, that's right.
Really handy. I don't know. Definitely after watching this video, I'm gonna download some Cinema 4D. I'll go find it or whatever, purchase it, and then I will certainly be trying this to increase the speed on which I can paint this sort of thing.
Yeah, you should. It's really user friendly.
Yeah, compared to like some, have you tried what is it, Autodesk Maya or 3ds Max?
Yeah, I did. I had it in school,
Yeah,
but I was not that good at it, and I just switched back to Cinema 4D.
those seem like a lot more complicated than this.
Yeah, the interface is much harder to understand.
Where this might be closer to, it looks like something like ZBrush actually, a little bit.
Yeah, well, this Cinema 4D.
Yeah,
Well,
the way the simplified user interface.
yeah, maybe, but I think that ZBrush is really hard. But maybe because I didn't really try it. The interface kind of scared me. I couldn't find anything.
I sculpted
So
a head once, and that's about as far as I got. I don't know how to do any of the fancy tricks, but I can sculpt a basic head.
so I tried to play around with some other colors, maybe a bit blue.
Oh, so you're adding like a tone to the blocks.
Yeah, yeah, a little bit, kind of a vibe.
Oh, and then
So
so how hard is it to set up the lighting in something like this? Can you just tell it to do like ambient light and stuff like
yeah,
that?
it's super easy. You just create the light and you move it around just like you would
That is
move an
really
object
cool.
around.
Look at that.
Yeah, and then you have boxes which you can click. Does the light cast a shadow?
Hmm.
What color is it? What intensity is it? Is the light visible? All those kind of stuff. It's really easy.
And those look really small in there right now, but then you zoom in like this, and it makes it look huge. So it's like
Yeah,
this is a really good tool for playing with the scale of things.
yeah, that's right. Yeah, I'm kind of cheating around a bit. So the background buildings are insanely huge.
Yeah, look at that. That is awesome. And even if you didn't go on to texture it after, this would still be like a great base just to kind of paint off of and
Yeah,
envision a
yeah,
whole world right here.
yeah, definitely. So yeah, because the geometry is all calculated out for you, and the perspective. Oh yeah, what I'm doing now, I'm looking up one of my old textures
Hmm.
to try out, yeah, how it looks,
Wow, and you
basically.
can just like drop it right on there like that, huh? Wow.
Yeah,
And it
it's
maps
really.
it to it.
I just yeah, I created the group. I grouped all of the objects into one group, and then I just smashed the texture onto it. And
Wow.
then I did some options. I altered some stuff, and then yeah, it was like this.
That's a really good technique just for kind of like inspiring, creativity. If you're having like a artist block or something and you just want something to go off of, you can just build a whole scene quickly like this and
Yeah, definitely. Yeah, whenever I don't feel like drawing, I'm just starting up this program, and I'm just doodling around a bit,
yeah.
just creating random shapes, creating random scenes, interesting compositions,
And you
and
can
and sorry.
I'm sorry, I was saying it looks like you're even altering the geometry after you mapped the texture to it as well.
Yeah, yeah, I didn't like some of the extrusions, so I just put them back a bit.
Oh, very
But
cool.
yeah, yeah. So I just model random scenes all the time, and if I like them, I'll just render them out, and if I don't, I'll just drop them.
Yeah,
And yeah, I use this technique a lot of times in the speed painting fun times group on Facebook,
mm-hmm.
where you have to create something in 50 minutes,
Yeah,
and
I
it's
can't paint anything in 15 minutes, but I can see how you can get some serious work done with using this technique.
yeah, yeah, it's yeah, pretty fast, I guess. I don't know, it has some kind of learning curve to it, so
Mm-hmm.
yeah, you have to
But I'm
practice
sure
a
they
bit.
have a lot of YouTube channels just dedicated to using the interface of Cinema 4D and the basic tutorials on that. That's why we're not really kind of covering any of that. This is just like how can it apply to your painting workflow.
Yeah, that's right. There are plenty of tutorials around. So, but yeah, we'll just explaining. We're just explaining how to use this for your painting.
And if anyone's interested, we'll be also putting this 3D file up on my Dropbox, and I'll have a link in the video, and people can download it and try their own paint overs and change the colors, the lighting, the time of day, and all kind, and add whatever details and make it whatever civilization they want. If you guys want to.
Oh wow, I would love to see that.
Yeah, well, I'll see. I'll look into like the Google Groups thing and see if I can make one, and then people can kind of like post them up, and we can check out everybody's results if they want to give this exercise a shot.
Yeah, that would be great.
Because you
So
can make this you can make this either like a futuristic city. You can make this kind of like kind of more of like primitive ancient world. So like, there's a lot of possibilities to go from.
yeah, yeah, that's right. Up to this point, I didn't even decide yet what I really wanted to do with the geometry. It could be anything. Well, the left corner, it could be some kind of walkway for people
Hmm.
to walk on. Ah, okay, there it is. We're done.
So what is this
um,
part of the process?
at this part, where I'm going to create a texture, a tileable texture, actually. Yeah, to put on the 3D models to map it on really.
So this is
So what I'm
this is basically what you already did then with the
yeah,
texture. This is how you make it.
yeah. I used the texture that I used like 5 minutes ago. This is how I make such a texture. So I just smashed some photos on the canvas, and now I'm just erasing some parts which I don't like, using the lasso tool
You're very
to
clever. Look at that.
yeah, to select important stuff. Yeah, it's going.
So you're making a
It's,
few different textures here.
no,
This will
it's
all be
just
one.
one texture, but I'm still deciding which photos I wanted to use.
Okay.
So first, I'm optimizing the photos, and when I'm done with that, oh here, what I'm doing, I'm using the match color function. It's
Oh.
pretty easy to use. It's under the image
Mm-hmm.
thing, and what it does, it actually matches the color of the texture or the photo
Yeah, like
to
auto
one of
color corrects it.
to yeah, it autocorrects it, yeah, to one of your other photos, and you can just choose which one you
Mm-hmm.
want it to be. So yeah, those hanging plants, I'm just throwing them everywhere.
Yeah, and it looks like if you do this enough, I mean, you can essentially build a whole library of these up for you to reuse, just saving lots of more time down the road.
Yeah, that's right. I have about 10 to 20 right now, but I'm planning to do a bit more.
Mm-hmm.
What I'm doing here, I'm using the offset function to make the texture tileable. Actually, what you see, this looks like complete mess. So what I'm doing now, I'm just painting in some random strokes
Mm-hmm.
to make this texture tileable. Actually,
Yeah, and if anybody wants to learn about that further, just kind of Google how to make a tileable texture and whatnot. We're not going to quite get into the intricacies of that.
yeah, it's incredibly easy to do. So. But I just like to make my textures a little bit painterly, a little bit chaotic, maybe.
Yeah, rough them up a bit.
Yeah, rough them up a bit.
And
Yeah,
this can be used as well in like just straight 2D painting too. You could drop it into your Photoshop file and then skew it into perspective. And
that's right.
I think Jonas Dero uses a couple of those techniques in some of his paintings.
Yeah, he does.
So if you're gonna avoid using 3D altogether, this part of the technique is still good for straight 2D users as well.
Yeah, this technique allows you to make some unique textures instead of just using what has already been done.
And then yeah, you can drop them into scenes, adjust the blending modes, and then kind of like paint over them all.
Yeah.
And that's what we'll be covering pretty much in the next video when we return. We'll be bringing the model right into Photoshop, and he'll be kind of showing you how he paints over the entire thing and builds a unified, cohesive scene out of it.
Well, I'm at least trying to.
Yeah, you'll do.
Success not guaranteed.
It's all right. Accepting failure is part of our growth.
Oh yeah.
But I wanted to take this time to thank you for coming on and showing us this part of your process so far. I've learned a lot. I hope the viewers learn a lot from it.
Yeah, I'm having a lot of fun.
Yeah, it's been a great time. So we will see everybody when we return. Hey everyone, thank you for watching. This new little bit I'll include a question from one of the viewers on my DeviantArt, YouTube, or Facebook, whatever that I think can benefit everybody else, so I'll include it here. Here we go. Spacey from YouTube asks, I have finished art school and I'm now in my 20s and I feel like a newbie sometimes. I have experience and I've committed a lot of time to art, and as a result I have raised expectations for myself way too high. It's really frustrating and prevents me from finishing many pieces. How can I deal with this mindset? And so basically what I told Spacey was I used to kind of have the same mentality, and I used to have to think every new piece that I made had to be better than my last, and thus kind of like my next masterpiece. And while that sounds like a good mindset and an all-around positive attitude to have, it can be actually detrimental to your growth. So, before starting your next piece, when you're thinking this, you're already putting, you're putting way too many expectations on things. And when there's high expectations, there's also a greater chance of not making them, which invites the feelings of failure, which you don't want. So what I try to do now is keep a more open mindset about it, accepting that maybe for every 5 to 15 pieces that I make, maybe 1 to 3 of them will be truly remarkable, and not the rest of them will be kind of be average at best. And so I think that's a much better way to think about things, because you're not going to make some awesome, amazing painting probably every single time. I think that's just a more realistic way to look at it. I mean, just setting marks to aim for is important, and so accepting failure is part of the growth, part of the growing process for everybody. So it's all right, and it's better just to learn and learn from a piece and take something away from it than just quitting it altogether because it didn't live up to your expectations. So that's what ultimately matters on that.